Hi, Mike.l.Levine here, and today I got another product to review. I bought these t-shirts here at Costco. They were $12.99 for sale there, and it's the Calvin Klein Liquid Touch t-shirts. And so anyways, $12.99 each. There were those three colors that I just showed you. And as I believe, this is a lighter weight shirt. It's 100% cotton. Let's see if I can find the information. Okay. Wow, all this information, and here it is, 100% cotton, as I thought. Made in India. So India, probably a very safe bet for sourcing cotton right now. As you, those of you who are aware of those things, China cotton is kind of a concern because there's questionable practices on picking the cotton and processing it in certain regions of China. And so anyways, China cotton is just very difficult to use because you can't tell the difference when you receive it, and the mill has to, or the yarn companies have to produce the yarns. They can't tell what cotton they're getting, so you just kind of have to avoid the country in general if that's a concern and you don't want to support those bad practices of how they treat people and who they hire, and child abuse and things like that go on. So anyways, India, made in India cotton. As you all might know, I manufacture in Vietnam. That's who I work for, and most of our cotton comes from either India, Pakistan, or the United States. We're actually a big consumer of U.S. cotton. So anyways, we'll switch to the overhead cam. We'll take a look at these in depth. Oh, just one thing real quick. Let's look at the care instructions. This should be like wash in cold because of the colors. Let's see. So wash and dry inside out, machine wash cold, gentle cycle wash with light colors, non-chlorine bleach only, dry promptly, tumble dry, gentle cycle, medium heat, low heat, iron if necessary, and iron on the reverse side only. It says you dry clean, do not iron embellishments. Okay, so and we have, well, we'll get into that in a second. There's a quality sticker still on the garment. Those things usually should be removed at the factory level. So anyways, we'll switch to the overhead cam. Let's look at what these are constructed of. Liquid T, that's obviously just a handle that the Calvin Klein put on their cotton. It doesn't necessarily really have any meaning. It's just like a marketing tool. Cotton tends to feel very similar from region to region. There's just variations in strength, which you might equate to quality in some senses, but to be honest, sometimes the cheapest cotton can feel really nice, and the nice, expensive, long staple cotton, the Pimas and things like that, those don't necessarily feel any better. This is a tighter weave, and it's a lighter weight. I would put it at about 120 GSM, or maybe even less. And so it does feel a little bit different, but that's because of the yarns are a little bit smaller to make the lightweight fabric and thinner fabric. So anyways, like I said, let's switch to the overhead cam. We'll look at the construction, and then we'll try them on. We'll test shrinkage and some things up, so stick around. It should be a good one. Okay, so here we are. First of all, extra large my size. Calvin Klein sticker here. It says Liquid Touch. And if the sticker says supremely soft cotton with a cool feel and a lustrous finish. So I would say that yes, there could be a nice finish on the fabric, a softener that it's applied to the mill that's going to make it, and you can kind of feel it coming off on your hands as you touch it. So there is some softener on there that was applied at the mill. And also because it's thinner, it will feel cool. So I guess that's where they're getting that from. You see this half moon design here in the neck? And we can zoom in on that real quick. For me, this half moon should definitely be deeper than the neckline. Here it's showing. I don't understand that. That should be actually down here somewhere, and that's first, it gives you something to sew the label to so it doesn't come through the back, but also by doing that you're trying to avoid this label showing on the back, but then you're showing another seam up front. Now, yes, once you're wearing it, it won't be noticeable, but the appearance on the table or on the hanger is important as well. And we do have a CK embroidery right there. That's very nice, but actually, for me, I kind of like my shirts clean and plain, but embroidery is a nice little touch, much better than a patch or a woven label. Let's take a couple quick measurements just to see what we got, and then we can check shrinkage. The rest of the construction of the shirt is pretty basic. We'll go over that in a second. Oops, here. And I got a chest of about 48. Shirt's not cooperating here. Yeah, 48. And our overall length, 30.5. And we'll check the other colors also, so that way we have a comparison. So here we have this little contrast underneath the neckline. That gray fabric, that's very cool. Once again, so it's trying to call your attention to something that's not visible when you're wearing it. So you have this very nice taping that they put in there. And it is just strictly decorative. It doesn't have a function. So you go to the trouble of doing that, but then you miss it on the neck piece here. So we'll check the other colors, see if this is just a mistake or if the other ones have the same issue where I think it's too small there. Regular shoulder seam, overlock set sleeve, same here as the hem finish. It's just a standard t-shirt, no vent on the side. You have a little label here in the side seam that says Calvin Klein, which is a nice touch. So you have it here, you have it there, and you have the CK embroidery on the chest. And once again, this is a mistake. This is a quality label or a SOBAR label identifying the piece. So this is like piece 17831. That's probably bundle 17, piece 831. And that should have a corresponding sticker on all the other additional parts of the shirt, and that's when you assemble it, you make sure all those pieces match, and that way you don't have shading issues within the garment. So and then these should have been removed during quality inspection, and it looks like they were removed from the other parts. I don't see it here on the sleeve. I didn't see it on the front, only on the back. And so looks like they got them all off. So once again, let's check now the red one. And yes, as you can see, let's zoom in here on the neckline, right? You can see now the half moon is completely covered by the neck of the shirt. This is how it should look. And there was just something wrong with that blue one, that they grabbed the wrong size and sewed it in there. Okay, so let's check once again our chest measurement. So 48.5. And the length, .30. And now last one, our gray. Yeah, and as you can see also on the gray, the half moon is correct. The neckline is covering it. So it was just that one item. And we can look real quick here on the inside, see if we see any of those labels, and there's none present, so they cleaned them all off of this one. And I'll check the red one, but I didn't. Usually you can feel it, the sticker, and I didn't feel it. Okay. Let's check our chest. And 48.5. And then our length. .31. All right, so we'll wash them up, we'll fit them, we'll wear them, we'll measure them again, check the shrinkage, and then so I'll get back to you in a little bit. Stick around. Okay, so here are the 3 shirts after wash, and they fared well. I did follow instructions and washed them inside out. I didn't separate them by color. I washed all 3 together, and from what I can tell, there was no transfer of color from one shirt to the other. So the dye is fairly well fixed on the cotton, and that's a very good sign. You see no surface pilling and not a lot of wrinkling, although these collars maybe look a little bit roughed up. I'm sure you could touch them up with an iron. Anytime there's a ribbing type material that's going to be used, you know, like in your polo shirts or something, there's going to be that issue. As far as shrinkage goes, let's see how we did. So the gray one, before wash, we had a 48.5-inch chest. So now it seems like we have 46.5. So we lost about 2 inches, which is roughly 5%. The length, we're right at 30, and we were 31 before wash. So also a little bit less than about, or a little bit more than 3%. So we're okay here on the gray one. And like I said, it looks okay. Not a lot of excessive puckering in the seams. That may be a little bit here in the neckline, but that's almost unavoidable because this is where the taping is, and you get differential shrinkage between the taping and the cotton, and it causes this puckering. I don't know if that's showing through in the camera there. Let's check out this blue one. So the blue one before wash, we had a 48-inch chest. And right now we're at 46.5. So a little bit less shrinkage, just we started off smaller. We had a 30.5-inch length, and now we have 29. And although 1.5-inch shrinkage, 5% in the length is not terrible, At the same time, 29 is getting short for some of you taller people. 30 inches really kind of a nice length for shirt. And once again here, we have that issue where they made the half moon here in the neck just too small. This is probably the wrong piece for this shirt, and it's showing there. Once again, not a big problem because when you wear it you can't tell, but for appearance purposes, when it's folded up on the shelf, that would be a problem. Here again, you got the puckering in the neckline, and that's because you have this, not the gray piping, but you have this neck tape here, which is necessary. It covers up the raw edge there, and you get it's probably also 100% cotton, but it's going to even be a different shade because it'll absorb dye differently and lose dye differently, and there'll be a differential and shrinkage between the two fabrics. And really the only way to avoid that is to wash that taping before you put it in the shirt so you can pre-shrink it. The red shirt here, 48.5-inch chest before wash is what we measured, and 46.5. So once again, we're fine on the shrinkage there. Overall length, we were 30 inches before, and we're 29.5 now. You can see here how nicely that neckline covers that bottom of the half moon. It looks okay. Here around the embroidery on all three shirts did very well. A lot of times, sometimes the material that they use as a backing will get hard or curved and make a noticeable impression or change in shape there or bump, and it's not. It looks fine, and so it keeps that embroidery subtle but apparent. And once again, just a little bit of puckering here in the back neck tape, but all the other seams look good. So let's try it on, see what it looks like, and sum things up. Okay, so this is what the shirt looks like on, and it's a very comfortable fit. It's a lightweight material, like I said, and it keeps it feeling cool because of that lighter weight. And it's a nice fit. It's going to conform to your body because it is a lighter weight. It is a knit, and even though it has no spandex in it, because of the knit construction, it's just going to be very stretchy. So let's take a look and see what the other colors look like. Okay, same thing with the red one. Now we did lose a little bit of that softness, and I did put softener in the wash, but some of the softener that was applied at the mill that I had mentioned in the beginning gave the fabric a very soft hand. That gets washed off in your first wash, and then you start replacing it kind of with whatever softener you tend to use. And I didn't put any softener in the wash. I just used one of those Bounty sheets, so that's kind of left the fabric feeling a little bit drier. Okay, and then last one, the gray heather. So the first two were solids, and the gray is a heather. And you might notice sometimes a difference in hand feel between heathers and solids. Even if it is the same material, it has to have a slight difference that allows them to make it a heather, as well as just having less dye stuff, because it's speckled with the white. It's going to have less dye, and it's going to be, maybe feel a little bit lighter or less stiff, just because you're going to feel more cotton without having that covering of dye attached to it. Anyways, very nice shirt. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you need something manufactured in Vietnam, reach out to me. I work for a company with 22 sewing factories over there. We make everything from basic cotton t-shirts, just like I'm wearing here, to complicated men's and tailored clothing and ladies' ballroom gowns. So anything and everything between, hoodies, shirts, which are very popular right now, ladies' leggings. We have a facility for it. So call me up. We also have our own textile mill, so I can help guide you in fabrics if you don't already have somebody that you want to nominate. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and remember to keep dressing smart. Take care.